Aussie entrepreneur Dick Smith is weighing into the nuclear debate, and he isn't mincing his words. He's labelled our top scientists at the CSIRO and our top energy minds at the energy market operator biased as he backs in the coalition's power plan.
Dick Smith, the electronic wizard in the electronic land of Oz.
From electronic wizard to entrepreneur.
G'day, Dick Smith here.
For decades, Dick Smith has been a household name.
I love Dick.
I love Dick.
There's only one Dick I'll be eating on Australia Day.
And now the Aussie businessman is proving he's still full of surprises. With bombshell claims in The Australian that the PM has been misled.
The reason I'm running the advertisements and I'm supporting nuclear is I believe it's the only answer.
Smith claiming the CSIRO and Australian energy market operator are biased against nuclear energy and have exaggerated the costs by looking at the worst case scenario.
The CSIRO and AEMO in their studies have minimised the cost of renewables and minimised the cost of batteries and then maximised all the costs when it comes to nuclear.
So, does that claim stack up? Well, the CSIRO based its small reactor costings on one of the only figures available, a project in Utah which folded last year because of high costs. Its large reactor costings are based on one of the slickest and lowest cost nuclear operations anywhere, South Korea.
To question the credibility of the report, or dare I say to say that it's biased, is just not factually correct, and it's not backed up by the fact that it's not a one-off report that's instantly appeared into the nuclear debate. It's a report that's been put out and revised annually and been building up the information and knowledge for 6 years now.
And then there are his claims that under the current plan, Australia should expect blackouts.
You basically can't run a whole country and industry on solar, wind and batteries. It's just impossible.
Except that AEMO's plan doesn't only rely on renewables and batteries, but also hydro and electricity from gas.
There were whole days and many more portions of days last year in 2023 when South Australia ran entirely on solar and wind-powered energy backed up by batteries. The lived experience here in Australia is we can run on a grid that is dominated by renewables. It's already happening and none of us even noticed it because the lights are still on.
So with industry experts saying Dick has got it,
Wrong as a den dingo's donga.
who's right?
One of the things that I don't understand as an energy expert with 40 years in the electricity supply industry is why, when we're faced with a time and cost-based series of challenges, people are even considering the longest to implement and dearest electricity generation source that there is globally.
Well, Dick's here to shed some light on that very fact. Dick, why are you weighing into this?
I think it's very important for our grandchildren that we do something about climate change. I'm a believer, and I think we've got to go to nuclear energy as the only way out. I call it the silver bullet, and most leading countries have nuclear, and we should too.
Well, Dick, the CSIRO and AEMO, they're at odds with you over this. They think that you're wrong. What do you know that they don't about nuclear?
Yeah, the problem is they haven't allowed for enough storage. They say that wind and solar will run the whole country. Now, that's not going to happen. It's not possible. Look, the wind farms at the moment don't have any storage supplied. So when you see them sitting there still not moving, there's no power being supplied. You can't run a modern international country on wind power and solar alone. Not possible, too intermittent.
But, Dick, I don't think they're saying that that's going to run the entire country, the renewables. They will be leaving some room there for gas to help along with it.
Yeah, they say 10% gas. Well, that's not enough to run a whole country, and there are going to be times when you'll need lots more, and that's why, look, most modern countries, Finland, Sweden, Switzerland, United States, Canada, all have nuclear. It's the gold standard of power. We're a really good country. We should have the best, and that's why we should have nuclear.
Not to mention we've got a bunch of uranium which we export to everyone else to run their nuclear power plants. Listen, let's go back to the CSIRO for a second, Dick. Their position on nuclear has not changed in many governments, going back many years. What makes you think that they're biased towards this government in regard to nuclear?
I don't think they're biased towards this government. I think it's just something that the CSIRO have lost their plot. They used to be a respected organisation. Now what they've done, in looking at nuclear, they've looked at the absolute worst case, a failed reactor in the United States, and then when it comes to looking at renewables, they've slanted it to the positive and I think they've allowed for 3 hours storage in the batteries, but you'd need far more than 3 hours. So you end up with totally false figures.
Dick, mate, I've been going through some of your old ads today, which has been very exciting. This one is my favourite.
I love Dick.
I love Dick.
Now, we're out of context, I get it, but would you consider bringing back the Dick Smith branding for the nuclear push? I was thinking Dick Power has a nice ring to it, or maybe Big Dick Energy.
Hey.
I love it, but no, I won't be doing that. That was a great adventure, and we gave $11 million away to important charities, but it's unfortunately, most people, of course, want the cheapest food, and the cheapest food will normally come from overseas.
You're out on your own there,
Okay,
Sam.
well, can I borrow your name and I'll just do it myself?
No.
Yeah, you can do that. As long as you support Australian manufacturers and Australian growers, you can have the name.
Done. All right. I don't know what I've just said yes to, but I'm excited.
I feel like we won't know for some time. Dick Smith, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, great to talk to you.
And the CSIRO says its Gen Cost report is technology neutral, policy agnostic, and provides a fact-based view of the cost of different energy technologies. It firmly rejects any claims that suggest otherwise. Full statements from the CSIRO and AEMO are on our website.